Hey guys, welcome and ting and ting and ting. And we're gonna be watching this one here, and it's called Happy in Death, the Special Cemetery in Romania. And I don't know what to expect here. In the video before this one that we watched, it was briefly mentioned, but this is a video about this special cemetery. So we're going to go ahead and in my country, we take our cemetery seriously too, you know what I mean? It's here it seems like a necessity to this point where, okay, let's just stick them in the ground, you know, and so some of it, there's no gravestones or anything. It's just flowers stuck on top of the place and thing on top of the grave. Uh, but back home, they build these concrete things over the graves and stuff. With the, you know, and I know they do that here to a certain. It's not just a headstone, and it's not like a tomb. It's like a concrete type uh, construction, you know, with the person's body underneath there. But let's go ahead and YouTube and simmer and see how what this cemetery is like. Okay, someone suggested this, so let's check it out.
Bună ziua, sunt Dumitru Poptincu, sculptorul cimitirului Vesel. Vă aflați în mijlocul cimitirului din Săpânța, România. Important este fiindcă în acest locaș este, după cum se știe, este singurul loc în lume unde se râde de moarte și în singurul loc în lume unde omul își pune viața lui. Sub această cruce grea zace beată soacră mea. 3 zile de mai trăia, zăceam eu și citea ea. Voi care treceți pe aici, încercați să nu o treziți, ca acasă dacă vine, iar îi cu gura pe mine. Dar așa eu mă-i purta, când înapoi nu a înturna. Voi care citiți aici, soacră bună vă găsiți, cu ea bine să trăiți. Asta este viața între soacră și ginere.
You know, speak of mother-in-laws, you know, and a lot of people always have mother-in-law stories and all of that. But I have to admit, I had a pretty cool mother-in-law. She would crack me up, you know what I mean? She passed away, 2 or 3 years, 4 years ago. But she was cool. She was a cool lady, you know? And I remember, and I'm going to just tell this story here, I mean, but I remember when I first, the very first time I spent any length of time with her is we were moving to New York from where we were in college in Kentucky, and we stopped over at her mom's place, and we were well, it's where my ex-wife was raised too, and we were sleeping in my ex-wife's bedroom, and all of a sudden in the night, and I just saw this shadow come in, you know what I mean? Like this shadow comes into the room, and I didn't know she had that long hair. Her hair was long past her knees, you know what I mean? And I remember laying there, and she just stood there looking at us. And you know, at that time, I had just come to America too, you know, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? And I've heard horror stories and things, and it scared the crap out of me. I'm sitting there, and she didn't wear this thing. She reached out, grabbed my feet, tug on my toes, and then turn and walk away. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. So I asked my ex, well, what is that all about? And she said, well, that's what she does to everybody. That's what she used to do that to me too as a kid. And that was kind of cool to know that, you know, hey, I'm like part of the family, you know, because she comes into the room in the middle of the night and tugs on my toes. I just thought that was he's talking about his mother-in-law, telling stories about his mother-in-law. There's my mother-in-law story. But she was really cool peeps, you know. Even after we got divorced, she would still want me to come up for Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff and all of that. Really nice lady.
Mă aflu aici, chiar lângă crucea creatorului cimitirului Vesel, profesorul care m-a învățat această meserie. Fiindcă el m-a preluat. El a venit la școala generală și neales, păcâți.
Hey, wait, you all say primary schools too? I noticed you said primary schools here. They don't say primary schools here in America. They have a what? Middle school and then high school. I think there's another one too, but I could never get it right. You know what I mean? But back home we have primary and secondary schools. And that's what he just said there, that he called it primary schools. That's kind of thing. Another thing we have in common, I guess.
Eram buni la desen și am fost printre primii care am, ca orice om, că fiecare avem sentimente. Nu cred eu că cineva nu are sentimente, dar așa este viața. Unul pleacă, altul vine și... Eu cred că în viață până acum am făcut în jur de 1500 de cruci, care nu au fost numai pentru Săpânța și pentru extern. Deoarece am rămas și în atelierul de unde el a creat această meserie și moștenesc prin muncă ceea ce el a lăsat. Prețul este în funcție de gen. Salariul mediu pe persoană. Cât e în România, noi coborâm la români. Când de afară e un preț mai la munca unui om pe o lună. De exemplu, atâta este prevăzut. Acum mă ajută mult, fiindcă membru care va duce mai departe va fi continuatorul și mă ajută foarte mult, fiindcă el îmi preia muncă.
Cu siguranță cred că eu o să fiu ăla care o să... Dar deocamdată nu e nevoie și sper să nu fie nevoie mulți ani acum înainte.
That's kind of cool, the crosses and stuff. Wow. You know, it's kind of funny because it reminds me of South America, the way it's constructed. It's quite possible that there's nothing like this in South America, but I think the colors also have a certain thing to do with it. But it just reminds me of that. And I'm sitting here watching this, and that's the kind of feeling I'm getting. That sort of South American feel. Now, I know it's not South America, you know, but that's what I'm getting from watching this here. Let's get going here.
Aceasta este printre primele mele cruci care s-au pus în cimitirul Vesel, lucrat în 1978. Este vorba despre o fetiță tânără care a pățit un accident și după moartea ei, părinții mi-au dat comandă și am făcut această cruce pentru această fetiță. Și la noi nu este lumea aia dintr-un oraș sau orășel. Este într-o comună unde oamenii se cunosc foarte bine între ei. De exemplu, la mormântarea unei persoane care a murit dintre noi, la noi mortul se ține 3 zile. Mortul nu se cântă, nu se bocește, la noi mortul se cântă. Așa că eu în cele 3 serii eu pot să vin la casa mortului să pot să preiau anumite lucruri care nu se găsesc în alte împrejurări unde mă aflu.
So this, as according to him, is like a small community that does this, which again reminds me of South America. Small communities having not like this, but similar sort of community vibe going on. And wow. Now, as far as funerals on the island where I'm from, because the island is so small, when somebody dies, he said they stay at the home for 3 days and stuff like that. I don't think they stay at the home on the island. They stay in the funeral home. People could go, you know, observe them. At least when I was there, that was able to be done. But how the funerals are done is like from the funeral home, to the church is a short parade. Like I was so, and I understand why it's done, but I was so taken aback when the first time I saw a funeral here in America. It's just the distance is so long that you have to hop into your car to go from the church to the cemetery, and all these cars are zipping by going to the cemetery, and everybody have to pull over and let them go by. Whereas on the island, there would be a procession from the funeral home to the church, and then once they did the service and stuff at the church, there would be a procession from the church to the cemetery to lay the deceased to rest there. And of course, too, people celebrate the life of instead of mourning the death of. I'm not saying people didn't cry and stuff like that, but it's always a massive celebration, which is kind of like here, but it seems sort of different. There goes the doorbell. I hope you guys didn't hear that. Let's get back to this video here.
Dacă s-ar supăra, înseamnă că nu ar veni la mine să le fac cruci. E o problemă care nu se pune asta că îmi place, că nu-mi place, că e viața lui.
Foarte, foarte important. Foarte important că noi acum avem vizitatori foarte mulți, cimitirul foarte bine, acum am făcut biserica foarte bine, no? Acum numai noi să fim buni. Și părinții noștri sunt gropați aici.
Nu știu să vă răspund, pentru că nu a venit nimeni să mă răspundă. Nimeni nu s-a întors de la moarte să spună, domnule, eu cred în religie. Cred că sufletul ajunge undeva sus, la cer, și după faptele care le faci aici o să dai răspundere.
Și probabil că viața veșnică ne-ar plictisi. Cel puțin așa consider.
I wouldn't mind to be buried here, to be honest. Seems pretty fun.
Da, într-adevăr, nu mi-e frică de moarte, deoarece ceasul când vine nu te apăr nimeni. Îți vine ora și ai plecat. Da, am înțeles, și eu am înțeles, dar vedeți că e foarte... De-aia spuneam, trebuie să fii om. Cine te înconjoară să te iubească.
That was quite interesting. Happy in death, you know what I mean? That's a pretty good idea to make a cemetery a colorful place. You know what I mean? A person has lived life, and they have contributed. They've contributed love to the people around them. They've contributed friendship to the people around them. You know what I mean? So that stuff that's understandable. And now, and a cemetery shouldn't be a foreboding place, I don't think, you know what I mean? It should be a place of peace. And not fearful peace, like, oh, somebody may come up and grab me and stuff. I hate when people do that to cemeteries and stuff, or tell stories like that, you know what I mean? We should be celebrating the people that lay there. And with these crosses, that's what seems to be happening there. And I'm glad I watched this, and whoever suggested that I watch this, thank you for letting me watch this. I would like to be buried in a happy place like that, you know what I'm saying? You could say, well, you ain't gonna know you're dead, but you don't know if people gonna know. We don't know what the afterlife is like. We don't know if those people are cognizant of what's going on around them, you know, and how they're being treated, you know what I mean? Imagine dying and then not being treated with respect, and knowing that you aren't being treated with respect because you're able to see what's going on. That's why we should respect the people who pass on. You understand what I mean? Show them respect in death. Happy in death. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this with me, you know what I mean? And this was a cool little story here. I'll leave a link in the description to this video, and hey, as usual, subscribe, like the video, share the video, you know what I mean? Let people know there's a giant watching videos on Romania and other countries. You all take care of each other, all right? Cool runnings.